Hi, my name is Steve Carey. I'm the principal here at the Academy of Hypnotic Science, which is a training school that teaches people just like you to become hypnotherapists. So why you might want to start up a practice yourself is to become part of this. If that appeals to you, the thought of actually being in a job, in a career where you are helping people, where you are making a difference to people's lives, if that appeals to you, then the hypnotherapy industry really should be appealing to you. Is it easy? Is it hard? Well, I don't know. Some people tell me that it's quite easy. Other people tell me that it's impossible, which probably says more about them than it actually does about the hypnotherapy industry. Certainly, you need to be prepared. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be ready and able to work hard at this. And Scott is a very good example of this. He's worked tremendously hard to get where he is. I think he's found it hard at various times and easy at other times. When you're doing the right things, when you're going about things the right way, things seem to be quite easy. When you're swimming against the tide, you can be working very, very hard and really not getting anywhere. So it's as much about working hard and smart as it is about just working hard. But I would say that it does take any kind of a business. Building a business from scratch by yourself is important. And is hard work. You're not going to just be able to people are not going to be aware of you for a start. So you've got to get yourself known to them. You've got to get your message across, and you've got to make people feel comfortable and confident in you that you can actually help them. And that takes practice, that takes a fair bit of experience, it takes determination, and it takes guts. But I do think that it has its own rewards. Yes, they are financial. You can make a good living out of hypnotherapy, as you would know from Scott, that you can actually make a good living out of hypnotherapy. But probably more important than that, most people don't come into the hypnotherapy industry purely with the idea of making lots of money. There are probably other ways where you can make more money, probably faster than in hypnotherapy. But if what really motivates you is this feeling of wanting to be able to help other people, to be really making a difference in people's lives, and to feel that you are every day that you're doing something which is positive and beneficial, I think that to me feels really rewarding. And I very rarely have the experience of seeing a client and at the end of it not feeling pleased and proud that this is what I do. It doesn't mean that I always get success by any means, but what it does mean is that you're aware that you're seeing people at a fairly low end. People tend not to go and see a hypnotherapist unless they have kind of run out of most other options. And while that can be, it can be upsetting for them and indeed for you to witness somebody in this sort of situation, kind of curiously, you don't have to be able to do very much to be able to give someone hope again, because I've found that most people have got great reserves of hope and ability in themselves. And if you can help to remind them of when they've been successful in the past, of when they've done things, when they've achieved things, if you can get them back into that mind frame, that mindset, then they're much more likely to be able to come out of that steep decline. I mean, think about your own life. When you've made a change in your life, you've probably been at a point where you felt that change was possible, where you were able to do it, where you felt that you had that ability. Because after all, if you didn't feel those things, you wouldn't even be aiming to make that change. You wouldn't feel that it was possible. So when someone comes to you feeling flat, feeling deflated, feeling down, feeling lacking in resources, if I can help that person get back in touch with their resources and start to feel that there really is the possibility of change, of improvement again, then that's when that can actually start to happen. Now, how do I know Scott? Well, I know Scott because we were students here at this very academy, at the Academy of Hypnotic Science. And in fact, one of the first early experiences I had of really successful hypnotherapy was with Scott. At the time, I was biting my nails rather badly. They're a lot better now. And I remember Scott asked a really clever question. He simply said to me, how long would you need to go without biting your nails to feel that it was no longer an issue? And I knew the answer. I thought, well, if I can stop biting them for a week, then I will feel that I've got in control of this. And it suddenly made it seem so much more achievable to be able to do that. And then he said, well, actually, I don't know what Scott said at that point, because at that point he did an induction and I don't remember anything else that he said. But I do know that it was tremendously successful and effective with me. And I've known Scott ever since. He's come and talked to many groups of students at the Academy. He's done lecturing, he's done workshops. He's helped so many people to get their practice up and running. And I would say that he is right up there now as an expert at what it takes. And if you are following Scott's advice, then I think you're getting very good advice indeed.